If we want to factor a trinomial that's ax squared plus bx plus c when a is not 1 and a is not 0, so you need an x squared term to talk about factoring anyway, but if I want to factor something like this when I have a value here, I really shook that pretty good. When I have a value here in front of the x, there are a lot of methods to do it. There are a lot of really good ones. One of them depends on being able to factor by grouping, which is something that is not required to watch for this video. So instead, we're going to use a different method. We're going to use the guess and check method, and here's how it's going to look. First, we're going to write out all the factors of ax squared that we can find, with the caveat that if a is positive, we won't write negative pairs. That's because we can take care of the sign in our other thing, in the other part of this. So step 2, write out all of the factors of c, of that constant term, and then we're going to take pairs and check if they create the correct factors. Okay, so I'm going to write out all the possible combinations for factors of ax squared. Unless it's positive, then we won't take the negative times negative. And then I'm going to write out all the factors of c, okay, all the factors of the constant. And then I'm going to just grab pairs and figure out if they give me the right answer. So let's look at a couple examples. If I want to factor 2x squared plus x plus 3. So first, this 2x squared, so I want factors. I could have 2x and x, and that's about it, because I don't want negative 2x and negative x, because I can take care of sign in the other one. So I've got 2x and x. Those are my options. Okay, let's look at factors of minus 3. So factors of minus 3 are, well, 1 and negative 3 is a factor pair of that. So is negative 1 and positive 3. But those are the only choices. Okay? So what I do is I'm now going to write two binomials where the first piece comes from the factors of ax squared, and the second piece comes from factors of negative 3, factors of the constant. So let's say I take 2 and x here, and then let's say I take, how about the minus 1 and the positive 3? Okay, maybe that's the answer. Maybe that multiplies together to give me 2x squared plus x minus 3. So let's see. We will check using our, FOIL idea here, or however you multiply binomials together. So 2x times x gives me 2x squared, which it better. Okay, you better get the right first term because that's how we picked those values. It's how we picked the first spot. Okay, then I've got my outside. So 2x times 3 is plus 6x. Then I've got my inside, which is minus 1 times x, which is minus x. And then I've got my last, minus 1 times 3 is negative 3. And again, that gives me my last term, that minus 3, because that's how I picked those factors. So this is 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Okay, that is not what I wanted. I wanted 2x squared plus x minus 3. So I'll go back to the drawing board. Okay, I wouldn't actually erase this if I was doing it on paper because I'd want to remember which ones I've done. But I'm just going to fill this in again and try to pick different factors that will work. me while I erase the board here, at least a little bit. Okay, so that didn't work. This time, let's try x here and 2x here, and let's keep the -1 and the +3. Okay, so I kept those in the same spot, but I switched the 2x and the x, and let's check if this is what we want. So again, I'm just going to use some method to multiply these together and check to see if they give me 2x squared plus x minus 3. So x times 2x is 2x squared, better be. X times 3 is plus 3x, minus 1 times 2x is minus 2x, and then minus 1 times positive 3 is negative 3. Almost got myself with a sign mistake. Which again, it should be negative 3, it's how we picked them. This is 2x squared, let's see, plus 3 minus 2 is plus x, and then minus 3. That is what I wanted. That means that this pair of factors is correct. Okay, so this is really just a guess and check method where I'm listing out factors and then seeing if they work. Let's do one more. Okay, let's factor 8x squared plus, that doesn't say plus, minus 10x minus 3. So I'm going to start with factors of 8x squared. So factors of 8x squared, I could have x times 8x. I could have 2x times 4x. And that's it. Okay, except for different order, and I'm not going to do both negative. So there are my options there. And then let's look at factors of negative 3. So again, we just did those, but they're 1 and negative 3, and then positive 3 and negative 1. Okay. I want two binomials where the first part comes from my factors of x squared, the ax squared. My second part comes from the factors of the constant. So there's x and 8x. There's plus 1 and minus 3. And now I check. So if I check here, x times 8x is 8x squared. And then outside, x times minus 3 is minus 3x. Then inside 1 times 8x is plus 8x. And then last, x times minus 3 is last 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. So this is 8x squared plus 5x minus 3. Not what I wanted. I wanted a minus 10x in the middle, so these guys were not correct. So let's try another pair. Let's move on to this 2x and 4x maybe. And I don't know, let's try them with plus 3 and minus 1. Okay, so let's see if that's the right thing. So again, I want a FOIL. Give myself a little room to work here. So I've got first times first is 8x squared. Outside is minus 2x. Inside is plus 12x. And then last is minus 3. 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 is not right because I wanted a minus 10x in the middle. But that's really close. In fact, if you have the wrong sign on your answer, you can switch your signs and it should work out. Let's make sure. Let's verify that this is now the right answer. So 2x times 4x, again, 8x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. Minus 3 times 4x is minus 12x. And minus 3 times positive 1 is minus 3. 8x squared minus 10x minus 3 is exactly what I wanted, so that is the correct pair of factors. Okay, like I say, if you were going to do a lot of these, one, you'd get better. This is how I learned, and the only method I learned back when I was learning arithmetic and algebra was this guess and check method. I got pretty good at it. But there are other methods out there. There's something called the British method, which I really like, but requires factoring by grouping, and plenty of other things you can check out. But if you just want a down and dirty way to do it, write out your factors of your x squared, write out your factors of your constant term, and mix them together until you find the right combination.